Welcome back to another battle video. So this is my Garbodor Terrakion deck. I really like this deck. I really like Garbodor decks. It's nice every now and then just to kind of change up and play a different style of deck. And this is a ability lock. So looks like I'm facing a full art Zekrom, which is great. I love seeing electric Pokemon against my fighting. Unfortunately though, my hand is really crap. I mean, I've got no supporters, no ways to search out Pokemon. That was my only energy, and yeah, not really looking good. So I'm really I have to attach and pass and hope that I top something really good at the beginning of my next turn. So it looks like he's got a little something in his hand. He Ultra Balls a couple of things, and puts down a double Dynamo. So throws down the Sky Arrow to get himself some nice little relaxing on some retreat costs, and a Bianca's for 6. So that is a god start turn 1 if I ever saw one. Oh great, is he gonna really? He's level balling for a 3rd Dynamo. Now if I can get my Garbodor up and he doesn't run many Tool Scrapper, I'm set. If he does, if he does run Tool Scrapper, I am so screwed. Wow, what do I do? Bianca for 1? The tool is on my Terrakion. I really don't want to Tool Scrapper my own thing, but you know what? I think it's more important just to draw a second card. So, yeah, I'm actually using a Tool Scrapper on myself. And then I'm going to attach Experience Share to my Terrakion, and obviously that was honestly, that was a good play. Yeah, it ended up working out great. Most importantly, I got the Trubbish on the field, and as long as he doesn't knock it out, I'm gonna have the Garbodor next turn. I mean, I've burned 2 tools, but I run, I think, 8 in the deck. I know maybe even 6 to 8. I'm trying to think of how many Rescue Scarves and Experience Share I run. But I run a good number, so the chances of me pulling into another one are pretty high. He's going to put an Eviolite on his Zekrom now that he's seen that my Tool Scrapper's dead, and I'm not getting that back. He figures it's probably pretty safe, and he's going to Juniper, so I'm guessing there's going to be some nice energy in there for him to be able to utilize later with his Electric. Wow, 2 or 3 energy and a Catcher. Wow, it looks like he had an Ultra Ball Catcher earlier too, so he probably should have used that Catcher on the Trubbish before he threw it out, but maybe he just didn't see it. And I guess he actually couldn't have really knocked me out. Yeah, I've got 60. He's only doing 20 to me, so I guess it really didn't matter. But he could have done some damage to me, forced me to burn the switch. Instead, I get the Garbodor up, and do I Juniper or just Sharon? Trying to ensure the tool. I end up going safe, conservative, just using Sharon, and wow, I actually hit the tool. Now I'm not hitting energy for some reason, so that is slowing me down a lot. Yeah, that's all right. So I heavy bowled for Terrakion. Next turn I'll be able to N or Juniper. I'm almost tempted to use the switch on my Terrakion just to keep my Experience Share on board. And looks like I just pass. So next turn, yeah, I'll probably N. So his, yeah, he wants to use that Electric, but he's not going to be able to. He Bianca's for 3, and I'm just hoping he doesn't have a Tool Scrapper. And let's see what he's got. It doesn't look like he has anything. I don't think he was even able to attach an energy that turn, so he just hits me for 20. I go ahead and end so I can save that Super Rod, and alright, I'm finally starting to draw into some energy. I'm gonna go ahead and, let's see, put that Terrakion on the bench. We're gonna level ball, we're gonna attach a fighting energy first, and then we're going to level ball, for a Trubbish, and probably just going to communicate it back in for a Garbodor. I don't have a tool to attach to it, but that's okay. I really don't want to be attaching a second tool to a second Garbodor. I just want to have 2 Garbodor in play right now. And I'm going to have to end my turn because I only have one fighting energy on my active. But that's okay. More importantly, as having that experience share on the bench Terrakion to utilize my resources later on. And right now, he's only able to outrage me. So if he knocks me out right now with the Bolt Strike, that's okay. I get my 1 energy back on the Terrakion, and I'm still feeling pretty good. Let's see if he gets the 3rd energy for a Bolt Strike, which will be enough to knock me out. But that also is going to put a little bit of damage on himself. However, I'm going to be one-shotting him anyways with my Terrakion. He evolves to another Electric, however, he cannot use them with the, my Garbodor turning off his ability. So, his beautiful, 3 Dynamo turn 1 start has really vastly come down. So he promotes nice a Zekrom, good time to hit that catcher. And he's going to Bolt Strike it and knock it out and hope that I don't have another tool available to be able to then knock him out. So, or not necessarily knock him out, but get my other Garbodor active. Now I did have the Rescue Scarf, so I do get to just pull that Garbodor back into my hand. And we're going to go ahead and put down another Trubbish. We're going to attach a fighting energy to the active so I can retaliate for the knockout, get some of those energy off the field. We're going to end and hope I hit a tool. I don't hit a tool. So he's going to be able to utilize, wow, and actually I don't get a lot of stuff. I do get a random receiver, so hopefully I'll be able to get into some sort of draw power next turn. But other than that, I really don't hit a lot. So yeah, whiffing on that tool is going to hurt. But we'll see what it ends up doing. I do get to take a prize, and really we're just tied on prizes, so there's really no concern right now. No one's got a very significant lead. Those triple eels are very threatening, but whereas I can, two-shot and knock out his Rayquazas, he's really gonna have to. Ooh, and I pull a tool off of my prizes, so excellent. Oh, that was actually a great pull. So what I was saying was, I'm two-shotting his Pokemon and taking 2 prizes. He could potentially one-shot mine if he wants to burn 3 energy, although right now he only has to burn 2. But in order to do that, he's giving up a lot of energy, and he has to assume that I'm going to get that Garbodor into play again. So it's going to really hurt him to burn all this energy. And, risk not knowing if I'm going to be able to get it back or not. My hand is pretty big with 7. He's got to think. I may not have had the tool last turn, but I was able to take a prize, and I'm going to be able to draw a card. Of those 2 cards, the chances of me either drawing into a tool or drawing into an N or a Sharon or something to get into the tool is very, very probable. So he needs to utilize his electrics as much as possible right now, because he may not be able to use them for the rest of the game. So, looks like there's a double Dynamotor onto the benched electric. He already attached an electric for his turn to his active Rayquaza. And I don't know if he's got any more electric in. Yep, he's got 3 more. Or 3 more. Another one in the deck. So he's got 3 onto that Rayquaza, and he's going to need all 3 on that Rayquaza to be able to one-shot a Terrakion. So, good play. I might have spread it out a little more, put 2 on the Rayquaza and 1 on the Terrakion, or the 1 on his Zekrom. Then again, he's probably not going to want to play with that Zekrom. I'm just going to be able to really easily one-shot it. So, gonna go ahead and random receiver and see what kind of supporter I can get into. An N would be nice, get him a little, get rid of that 5-card hand. Hopefully he might have some stuff stored up. So it looks like I hit an N. We're going to go ahead and attach a tool to my Garbodor. We're going to thin out the deck as much as we can. I'm going to go ahead and get another Garbodor into play with a Heavy Ball. And what's there to Super Rod in? Terrakion, a Fighting, and looks like that's it. And then I'm going to Heavy Ball, just get the Terrakion right back out. Make sure that it stays in place. I believe I run 4 Terrakion, so 1 is prized. Or I may only run 3 in this deck since my online resources may be a bit limited. And we're going to attach a Fighting to one of my bench Terrakion. Ah, perfect. Another experience share. So, while I don't really want two tools on the board, I want that tool on that Terrakion. Um, so, we're going to be able to retaliate for 90. And if he knocks me out, that's okay. I've got the... now, what I could have done was bring up a Zekrom for a free prize, but I'm going to have to start really attacking these Rayquazas, so might as well do it now. Plays a Bianca for 4. After attaching the fire to Rayquaza, that Rayquaza is going to be able to knock me out. Now, question is does he have the catcher to be able to pull up my Garbodor and knock that out? If he does that, then he's going to have access to his abilities again, and that's going to be a big advantage. Doesn't look like he had it, so he has to throw out all 3 energy to be able to knock out that Terrakion. That's really going to hurt him hard. Hurt him, or hit him hard. Hurt him hard, whatever. And I'm going to experience share. I don't really necessarily need it on the Garbodor. It's just a tool to put on there. And be able to bring up my Terrakion to get another retaliate, and I do have the catcher to be able to knock out that Rayquaza and take 2 prizes instead of 1. So definitely need to go that route. Pretty sure he doesn't have an Eviolite attached, so I'm safe that way. We'll go ahead and attach the fighting to the benched Terrakion. We'll go ahead and catcher up the damaged Rayquaza. And we'll go ahead and Bianca for... I have plenty of cards left in my deck, so we'll Bianca for 4. Do I want to play the Mewtwo? It's really risky to try and play the Mewtwo, so I'm just going to retaliate for the knockout and tie us up on prizes again, 3-2-3. Now, big thing here is unless he has the Tool Scrapper, he's in a lot of trouble. He puts up a Zekrom, maybe he actually has a Tool Scrapper. So, he benches a Mewtwo. Good, well, okay, yeah, maybe it's a good thing I didn't bench my Mewtwo, because if he had captured up my Mewtwo and has a Tool Scrapper to bring his abilities back in, I should have been counting his catcher. I think I saw at least 3. So, wow, and he has to pass. So, excellent. I'm going to play down my Mewtwo just to be a little intimidating. I'm going to attach a fighting to my active Terrakion so I can just Land Crush for 90. And then I decided to take that back. Maybe that wasn't the right way where I wanted to go. Well, I mean, it still brings me down to 2 prizes. I think I do need to do that. Just attach it to the active, Land Crush for 180, and knock out that Terrakion. That means I just need to knock out an EX. I could do that by loading up a Mewtwo. That's kind of dangerous, though. Or 2-shotting a Rayquaza, and I've got both 2 catchers to be able to do that. Maybe I should just bring it up well, you know what, this may not be a bad idea. I've got 2 catchers. Why don't I just start, why don't I bring up something? Looks like I do decide to go with the first option and just Land Crush for the knockout, rather than burn any of those 2 catchers, waste them essentially, in order to do some damage on the EXs. I have to take 3 prizes anyways, so I might as well just save them for later. So he promotes the Rayquaza, probably because it has free retreat, and I wonder if that Tool Scrapper was the only, or no, did he run a Tool Scrapper? No, I think he took out my Garbodor just by bringing it up and knocking it out, so he has to have another catcher, or, you know, unless he runs Tool Scrapper, which, I don't know, some people have been running very high amounts of it, some people haven't. It's good in just so many situations, and it can be dead in so many situations, so, he's got a nice hand size of 6, so he should be able to at least attach, maybe do some damage with Mewtwo. He may be afraid of actually attacking with Mewtwo. There's 1, 2, 3... Okay, 3 catchers, so he probably has 1 left. He's probably afraid of attacking with Mewtwo simply because I can then attack with my Mewtwo. I feel a little better if I have an experience share on that Mewtwo to speed up the energy acceleration, but that's okay. Looks like he attached another energy to his Mewtwo. May not have been the best idea, but we'll see how that plays out for him. It's really, I mean, he may be just trying to bait me. So he retreats back to his Thunderous and just passes. Um, I mean, there's really nothing stopping me from just continuing to attack. I mean, I'll just take another free prize and we'll load up another Terrakion, you know, for the future. So I'm not quite sure why I'm doing this. I've got two catchers in hand. Yeah, I guess I don't really realize that. I mean, doesn't that Thunder is still is weak to fighting, isn't it? Um, Maybe I'm wrong. It's been so long since I played Thunder that maybe it's not. Um, but there really was. I mean, I could have just taken a knockout and then used a catcher next turn to take my last prize on an electric. So I'm not quite sure why I went that route. Um, Maybe just trying to take the two prizes in one turn. Um, yeah, probably just not the smartest move. It really was not necessary. So, yeah, here comes the big N, and this is where it comes down to seeing what I can draw into. This is why that was definitely a misplay, just catching up the Rayquaza. Would have been better just to take the extra prize and have two catchers left in the deck in order to try and drag out an electric for an easy knockout later on. So it looks like he just retreats back to Tornadus and still not really choosing to attack. But I get lucky, I top a Juniper, and we're going to drag up that Rayquaza for the game, knockout, land crush. So my misplay really didn't end up hurting me. I was still able to pull it out, but with a lucky top deck from a Juniper. Now I did have enough resources on the board that I still think I would have had it as long as he couldn't get into a Tool Scrapper to get rid of that Garbodor. So very good game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.